That right there is a Cummins 5.9 6BT diesel engine. I do not know how I'm going to fit it in here right now. I'm moving to the shop here in about a week or two, and all this is going to be coming with me, but needless to say, I've got to find some room. I got to tidy. So let's get this place tidied up, ready for the 6BT to arrive. I guess I'm out of excuses now. About to sign the lease on the new space. It's go time. With the engine here, my excuses for getting onto the K30 Burb are starting to run a little thin, but I did want to go through why I was so keen on getting this Cummins 12-valve 6BT. This engine has been produced for years. It first debuted in the 80s and was perfected in the 90s. The late model, I think it was 96 to 98 Cummins motor that came in the Dodge Ram, was what many consider to be the best generation. It maxed out at 230 horsepower, which is in its stock form. It came with the Holstedt turbo, it came with the P-pump, it came with the legendary mechanical design, and that's what I wanted to capture for my build. I wanted something in the K30 Burb that was going to be completely bulletproof, reliable, long-lasting, durable, simple, and mechanical. One of the main draws of this engine is it's very, very mechanical. There is few electrical parts on this engine. In fact, the only electrical part necessary to run this engine is a little fuel cutoff switch that when you apply electricity to it, it will actually remove a pin or place a pin. It either restricts the flow of oil or allows the flow of fuel. So that's all this thing needs to run. It does not need electricity because it does not rely on a spark. That's the beauty of a diesel. It relies on compression and heat to make that ignition and that combustion. Therefore, the longer these run, they tend to become seasoned, the tolerances become tighter, and they become more and more efficient. Break-in is very, very important on a new engine like this to make sure that all the materials just conform to each other over the initial heat cycles. This engine in particular has been a workhorse. It's a legendary motor. This can be found still in everything from a front loader application, excavators, marine applications, transportation in terms of school buses and bread trucks, and a lot of high-powered tow picks. You see the guys pushing out 2,000 horsepower out of a diesel. They're doing it with one of these. An iron block, an awesome compression ratio, a massively overbuilt block and head, lead to an engine that can take crazy amounts of boost. We're talking 100 psi of boost, producing crazy power. Now, I'm not looking to go down that avenue, but what I am looking to do once this thing is in and dialed is probably do a lot of the tuning that is quite common. The main attribute that makes this particular generation so popular is this right here. This is the Bosch P7100, otherwise known as the P-pump. You'll hear people talk about a VE pump or common rail or P-pump. This is the P-pump, and the beauty of the P-pump is each one of the cylinders has a corresponding plunger and fuel delivery system. This is ran off gear drive to a cam that will actually actuate each one of these plungers to deliver the appropriate fuel at the appropriate time to the appropriate cylinder. Now, obviously, that is almost infinitely tunable. You can change the spring pressures, you can change the flow rates, you can change governor springs in them. You can do so much, and there's so much potential to be unlocked in this guy. There's a whole industry dedicated to getting more out of the P-pump. So the P-pump itself is worth its weight in gold. When coupled with an engine of this caliber, you've got something that is just, it's one of those engines. And that's what I wanted for my K30 Burb. I wanted something that was just going to work for the rest of its lifespan. So I'm excited to be putting this in. I think this is, it's going to be a fun project. I know you guys are going to dig it. I'm really stoked to have partnered with Big Bear Engines on this. This is a new 6BT. Cummins is obviously still manufacturing a lot of the parts for these engines. They do not produce them anymore, but the cylinder, I mean the block, the cylinder head, the valve springs, the pistons are all available for replacement and repair of your existing 6BT. What Big Bear Engines does is they amass all those OEM parts and then they assemble it into a functioning new engine. There is about 10% OEM, about 10% aftermarket in here, but all of the tolerances, all of the criteria, all of the build specs, torque, clearances, everything Cummins is built into this. This is as it would have left the factory in 1998. So I'll put the link down below for Big Bear Engines. They're going to be a big part of this build, and I want to thank them for their belief in my channel. It's given me the opportunity to bring you guys some awesome footage. There is a lot more to come on the K30 Burb. If you have not caught up on the build so far, go ahead and take a look at this playlist up here. That has a lot of the content from the K30 Burb, from when I picked it up to some of the improvements I've already made to it and some of the plans I've got for it. So make sure to click on that and take a look.